So I figured since I'm awake, let's do a little weaving. I'm using my rigid heddle that I just got in the mail. And I might have overloaded my shuttle, so yeah, we can't use it to beat because it's too fat right now. Oops. Yeah. Important. Make sure that you weave all the way through. And that you have the heddle in the right position before you try to weave it. Because it won't work right if you don't do it right. A little honky tonky wonky donkey over here. I have another shuttle also, but it's also too full. Oh my gosh. I don't have any more shuttles. I mean, I do have more shuttles, but they go to different looms. And I'd like to not mix and match. So that's just me and my preferences. I haven't done an art stream in a while, so I was like, you know, you're awake. What you could do after you're done cleaning, you could stream. I'm like, yeah, that sounds like an idea. So this is my first official attempt at band weaving. I do have something I used with like this heddle I rigged together, honestly, out of like cardboard strips, a stapler, and what do you call it? Cardboard strips, a stapler, and a hole punch. So just so you know, that's possible. You can absolutely make that happen. I couldn't wait for this one to get to me, and I wanted to get started trying to get the hang of it, and so I did that. The weaving, I mean, it's not the worst thing I've done. It really isn't. And I've got my band lock, which I'm so glad I got the backstrap like kit, because it came with this larger heddle. I have a dock So for the heddle to sit in. And then obviously its own shuttle. Whoops. Which I was letting my little leave. Reed or loom hook. Loom reed. I don't know what to call it. I think that's it. Yeah. Oh, I'm wearing the back strap of the band lock. Derp. Derp. That's not it. It's not everything. And I took this off to let my daughter use the smaller heddle. And I'm paying for the fact that I took it off before I was done with this. Alright. I didn't exactly mess up the tension, but it could be better and it's not. So this is what's that's what's done so far. And I do have like a good amount of tension pulled on it right now. Actually using a magnet of all things to hold it to my desk because I have a metal desk. It's actually working like really well. I also overloaded my shuttle because what I didn't want to do was have to thread in the middle of it. Like, it's not a big deal to add thread. You just have an extra end and then you deal with it at the end. But I didn't want to do any of that. And so here we are. I got up like 3 hours ago. I should have gone back to sleep, but I decided, hey, there was a bunch of stuff you didn't do before you went to bed. You should probably do some of that stuff now. I'm like, yeah. So I tried to be responsible, and then I got to the point where I'm like, I can't sleep. And now I'm at the point where if I did go to sleep, it would screw me over because I have to be up in an hour. So here we are. I wish I could do this at work. Like, I think it's low tech enough for me to do it, like, especially if I was doing phone work. That sounds weird. But I don't know what I'll be doing until I get somewhere. Whatever my assignment is. And so I can't, like, plan for things like this. I do have a little loom that I carry around in my backpack with me. It's my Kumihumo loom, and it's, again, it's just me practicing. I'm trying to get the hang of the flat braids, which tension is, like, you know, honestly, on any loom, in any fiber art, tension is important. Because too much tension and you will jack something up. It'll look wonky tonky. Honky tonky wonky donkey. Now the good thing is we're like coming to the end of this strap. I think I did pretty well. I didn't have something to set the weave, and now I understand why you would do that. There. So now we know. That was an. It's not that I didn't do the step, it's that I didn't understand the purpose of it, which this is the good thing about doing. Is You learn from the mistakes that you make, right? You can see the Gorgon in the background, got some Athena vibes going on right now. Yeah. Wrong myth, but you know. Yeah. Of course, my assignment for yesterday, they're like, "You were so much help," and it still blows my mind every time somebody says that to me, and I'm just like, isn't that what I'm here for? Am I not supposed to help? And I understand what people are saying. Like, it took me a minute to noodle it out. Like, I can get it. There are people who show up to work who have shit attitudes. I'm not saying mine's good, it's not. And then it's reflected in the kind of work that they do. And it doesn't matter how I feel or what my mood is, I maintain the same work ethic. Because that's just how I work. And I know that this idea of, well, I don't like this and so I'm not going to do a good job, like, I know that's a thing, but it doesn't make any fucking sense to me, right? Like, if you're not going to do a good job, like, why are you there? I mean, at the very least, you should do, right? You should do, like, at least what you're supposed to. Don't mind that. That would be me trying to get more out of this. I don't know. Like, I mean, I do. I understand that it's a thing. Now, as far as why people do it, like, that one's beyond me. Of course, I don't think my personal feelings, for the most part, like, have anything to do with work. I mean, there are specifics to that. So, like, I will not make something or do something that is out of integrity of, like, who I am, right? Of course, if I'm if I'm in a position where that's asked of me, then that tells me I need to find a new fucking job, right? That's what that says to me. So, and that's one thing, but that's not what's going on. If you just don't want to do it because you don't feel like doing it, what? Like, it's part of the job. You accepted that reality when you accepted the job, right? Like, I don't get it. It's really funny listening to a friend, because friend is taking some classes in economics and just business classes, and it's teaching friend all this stuff about, like, business. Oh, you know what? I could not move, or I could just band. I don't know. I forget the band lock is in, like, attached. And that's another way to pull tension. This is a little tight. Okay, look, seriously. That's on purpose, though. I can't tell you what my tension has been this whole time. I'm totally running out of, like, stuff, though. I don't know what I'm gonna do at the very end of this. I don't know why people turn that sideways to do that. I'm sure there's a reason. It's beyond me right now. Yeah, this isn't meant to be, like, perfect. Honestly, I tried to thread this damn heddle, like, way too many times. And I finally reached out to the person who made it and said, hey, look, I got a question. Could you sort this out for me. Like, explain this, please. The funny thing is, it is not a new question. Like, somebody else in the comment to the video asked the same question. Unfortunately, they commented to a comment, and I don't know how. That's what I'm using, by the way, big magnet. I don't know how the person who made the video, like, how they check stuff. Okay, so what we'll do is do that. That way we've got a little more room. Oops. Yeah, this is a really awkward, like, angle to work on camera, by the way. I'm used to working on my desk, and I don't have a good way to put this on top of my desk, so it's off to the side of my desk. I'm sure there's like some kind of recommendation for how much to wind the shuttle. Although I'm sure it also like is relatively easy to address anyway. So, alright, we have to do something about this because what's going on here is the end of the strand is loose on one of the areas. So bear with me while I pull this taut and knot. And like the cool thing about this loom, you can set it up, you know, wherever the hell you can manage it. There we go. I think that's a little better. This is not as loose as it was. There we go. Alright, I do need to be careful though because we've got some bowing. And there's a name for it. It's when the weaving kind of goes like this. And it's a tension issue. It's always a tension issue. It's an attention issue. I mean, you could argue that too, honestly. I know people do that. I can't wait to get into card weaving. That's going to be fun. I also want an ankle loom. And you can card weave on ankle loom. I think you're supposed to, actually. I think you can card weave without an ankle loom. Like, you can card weave kind of similar to this, where it's a lot lower tack. I want an ankle loom, though. I'm not looking forward to my assignment today. On top of the fact that, like, where I'm going is not somewhere I really want to work. It's just fine. Like, it's just, that's how it is. That's how it is. But I'm also not looking forward to the fact that I haven't gotten any fucking sleep. I mean, I did go to bed early, but I don't really think that's helping right now. As I woke up and paid a bunch of fucking bills, not my favorite thing to have done. Very necessary thing to have done, but like, and I'm glad I could do it, but I'd like to keep my paycheck for more than like 5 minutes. I think the only reason I had my paycheck as long as I did is because I was asleep when I got paid. Now, I did pay a bunch of bills early, though. That's cool. That is something I haven't been able to do in a while, I think. So I'm trying really, really carefully when I pull the edges, because I'm not worried about the tension in the middle. It's the edges that are the tricksy part. Tricksy fucking hobbits. The good news is because I have all this on the shuttle, I can easily weave something else. I got a whole pile of thread like over there. I'm gonna make a couple of bands because I kept, so there's a, what is it? It's an indirect warp. So you don't warp it through here directly, right? You warp it on something else, and then you put it in this. And when you indirect warp, you make a loop. So, like this. Okay, you wrap it, and then you got two ends, and they come together. So that's one, and it's twisted, right? Because you need to make a cross for this to go up and down. And so that's one, right? Well, it's two strands together in a circle. This is an odd number heddle, which means there has to be an extra strand. And an extra strand, for purposes of illustrations, would mean doing that, right? That would be the extra strand. You would have to stop over here. And that's not when the person who makes this demonstrates them warping, it's not clear how they're getting the odd strand. And I'm just like, what? And I'm sure there is a way to do it. The only thing is, in that video, it's not apparent. And then later when you look, it doesn't look as if they're using all of the heddle literally, right? Literally having a hole empty. So that's, and it's this one, right? So this right here has nothing in it, which would make this even. And if that's what's going on, that's what's going on. That's fine. But in the comment, somebody asked about it. They're like, well, if you're doing this, shouldn't you have 30? And that answer wasn't, that question wasn't answered. But like I said earlier, it's underneath a comment, and that comment was answered, which led to that question. Because they're like, oh yeah, the heddle has 31 dents. I think it was, yeah, 31 dents. And all 31 of them are used. There's a point that you can pause it and see that it's not. Like, you can see in the video it's not. And if it gets, like, another strand just gets looped later, I mean, that's fine, but that's just not explained. And I'm confused. And I'm not the only one. So I sent them a message on Etsy, which is where I bought this. I said, hey, unfortunately they happen to be out for the holiday, which is, you know, fine. Wish I had known. I would have said something sooner, but I didn't know that they were, like, I didn't get this until they were already gone for the holiday. So I wasn't able to like have perceived that this was something I needed to know. Now, if I had watched the video sooner, which I could have seen sooner, I could have seen that I did not know what to do about this. Hold on. So I think it's turning out pretty good. Now, can you just imagine doing this on a way bigger machine and going because that's how the head is moved upside down, or up and down sometimes. It's just fucking wild. I really don't know what I'm going to do when it comes to the end. I think I've done pretty well. There's only a few spots where I pulled the strand too tight. It's pretty good. Also, yeah, this band lock was like a great idea because it's keeping that from just getting in the way. And it allows me to not have to move like forever away from it to pull tension if I want to, which is awesome. So as you can see, I do want to pull tension on it. One of the bosses, I said, hey, if you need help over here in this building, let me know. And they're like, oh, do you like working over here? And I'm like, I'm capable of working over here. I don't think that the sentiment I was trying to communicate was communicated well, though. It's not, I don't know, for me, my day job is not about liking what I do. It's like, can I do it? Am I fine with doing it? Yeah. Now, I think because I'm not on contract anymore for, like, these specific terms that I was working under, I think hopefully my stress levels will go down because I didn't know how fussy they were going to be about timekeeping, and I'm like perpetually late. Not on purpose, I just have no sense of time. And so I think I have more time than I do, and then I find out that I don't, and I'm like, oh shit. Plus, there's a lot of factors that make it easy for me to not be on time. But I can't do anything about those things. Like traffic, for example. funny thing is, I told somebody, I was like, yeah, no, leaving like a few minutes earlier or later will make a difference. And they're like, really? And I'm like, no, really. And that's because I travel a major thoroughfare to get to work. And I pass a couple of basically choke points where things bottleneck and spread out, which has people like making last minute decisions because, oh, hey, there's suddenly more or less cars on the roads, or more or less road, basically. I mean, from an engineering perspective, there's gotta be, I don't know, a better solution, but I don't know what that is. I just know, as a user of said roads, it is very evident that there was some, what's it, specific issues that certain infrastructure decisions created. And yeah, so I think at this point, this is where I would want to use a weaving needle, because I'm starting to get to the point where getting the shuttle through is becoming difficult. So I'm gonna go as far as it'll let me, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do after that. I'm literally getting to the point where I'm not gonna be able to shove the shuttle through. And part of that's because of how it's like affixed. There's some space that doesn't exist because of how it's done. I can't believe it's fucking 4:30 already. I cannot believe it. Like, I have no idea how much more, like, yarn I will need. Alright, so, like, that's it. That's the end of it right there. It's raining. I need to go to the gym in like 30 minutes. Don't want to, by the way. What is it? It's Thursday. It's Waits Day. Which technically has me at the gym for a shorter period of time. Yeah, I decided I'm gonna return to running and cardio. My extra cardio, so running and rowing in January. Gross. Ew. Not looking forward to that. I think I've done pretty good about getting to the gym this December. December's usually really difficult for me to go because it's fucking cold outside. That's why. It's cold. The depression is worse. You know. A whole bunch of bleh. My alarm is like, hey, wake up. I was like, bitch, I've been awake. I didn't even get everything done I needed to do to prep for today. And I need to do that. I need to take the recycling out, but it was raining and it's cold and I have shorts on, so no. Somebody I saw said, oh, the unit, I told them the unit I was going to. I'm like, yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. They're like, oh, I loved it. And I'm just thinking, that's great. I don't think that's going to be the case for me. Now, there are a couple of assignments that I've gotten where I went in like, ugh, yeah, I don't know about this. I mean, I'm not going to complain. I'm still going to go because it's literally my job. But, you know, I got there and I was like, this is not as unpleasant as, you know, expected. So that's cool. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're absolutely getting to the point where I'm not going to be able to thread this through. Alright, this might be like the last pass I can manage. Like that. And of course, I don't know where a freaking thing is. Uh-oh, there's like a screw missing. That's what that was. That's weird. Don't mind me. I dropped something and I just realized what it was. And now I'm trying to figure out what it what it goes to, and I have no idea. No, yeah, we're not doing any more of this. So, I've made it to like 45 minutes. I'll take this out of the band block so that. Are you fucking kidding me? I think it said it's gonna snow. That's gross. I hate snow. I'm not a cold weather creature. Alright, so this is what we got so far. So we see here that's where it had to be set. Because I've done like a pretty good job keeping it even. I think there being more give to these strands was part of why it's like that. And I'm not done with the weave. I just can't. I can't get the shuttle through any more of that, so I have some weaving needles that I can use. But this is pretty good. I think I like it. I think it's turning out nicely. So I'm gonna go. Not back to sleep because that's a bad idea, even though my brain kind of is like, you should rest. Also, if I'm gonna go to the gym, I have to go to this morning because it looks like snow. And gross. So there we go. It looks so cute. Look how cute that is. That's adorable. Alright, I'm gonna skedaddle. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, and goodbye. And I will see y'all later. Toodles.